Hello everyone, and welcome to the answers of my Q&A. Well, it took me a while to get around to doing this. Admittingly, I was reminded of it when I saw the Chelly uploading his answers, so let's get to it. My first question comes from none other than Morph Gorfmim. Dear Chris Gendo, I'm a really big fan of your YouTube poops, and I was wondering, why do you use anime so frequently in your videos? My sister likes anime, and all of it is full of spiky-haired dudes yelling "Spirit Ring" and looking up at girls' skirts. Are you really into this stuff? Best regards, Morph Gorfman. Well, Morph, I like some select anime titles, though I would say most of all sources I use in my videos are used if I think they're poopable, not so much if I like the said sources, of course. I'm more familiarized with sources that I like and will use them more often, but that isn't always the case. I like plenty of anime titles, but I can probably name more that I dislike than like. This next one comes from, wouldn't you know, the Chotli. Dear Chris Gendo, I'm a really big fan of your YouTube poops, and I was wondering if you'll be participating in any YTP soccer stuff. Soccer is like YTP tennis, except with YouTube poop music videos. I'm really into it and have done quite a few matches. I would love to see you get into one. Yours truly, the Chotli. Well, Chotli, that's a pretty dang good question. I personally do not participate in tennis because, well, I'm tone deaf and can't make good YTP-MVs. If I were better, I would at least consider it, but I also find YTP-MV making needlessly tedious. Also, I just kinda don't see the point in soccer since you're really just responding to somebody else with certain restrictions on video or song source. Where in tennis, there's more freedom of what you can do, so I just find the latter more interesting. Our next question comes from Moogleboss. Dear Chris Gendo, I'm a really big fan of your YouTube poops, and I was wondering if you're familiar with Touhou. It's a series of shoot-'em-up games, and I'm not a big fan. I think it's something you could get into, in case you haven't heard of it. Sincerely, FFgasm. Well, Moogleboss, I'm actually very familiar with the Touhou series. I play most all of them and enjoyed them very much. I haven't played them in a while, however, and admittingly I'm not very good at them, but they're loads of fun. I'm also a big fan of the characters. Some people think I'm a huge fanboy of Patchouli since she was my avatar for quite a while, and I switch back to her every once in a while. Alright, next question. This one's from Radok. Dear Chris Gendo, I'm a really big fan of your YouTube poops, and I was wondering how long it takes for you to make a video. For me, it takes a good 9 or 10 hours, and because of that, I can only upload a video once every week or two. So I'm simply curious how long it takes you to make a YouTube poop. Take care, Radok. Well, Radok, it really depends. When I'm making a filler video or a serve for a match, I can usually whipping it up in an hour, if even that. Sometimes longer if I can't pick a source. And when I'm working on a tennis round, it can take several hours, more or less depending on how many ideas I have and how challenging the round is to volley. That's about it. Almost done with today's questions. This one comes from Microprocessor. Dear Chris Gendo, I'm a really big fan of your YouTube poops, and I was wondering, do you like video games? I love video games, especially fighting games. What kind of games are you into? Have a great day, Microprocessor. Well, Micro, my favorite games include the Legend of Zelda series, especially the Nintendo 64 ones, and the Disgaea games, which I started getting into about a year ago. I also like other games like Metal Gear Solid, Department Heaven games, which include Big Union and Nights in the Nightmare, and of course I really like Touhou, though I still don't really play it that often. Okay, this is the last question I have time for today, so I'll end this off with a question from NS2. Dear Chris Gendo, I'm a really big fan of your YouTube poops, and I decided to log into my account after 8 months of hiatus to ask you this question. What is your address? I would like to come visit you so I can bake you an apple pie. Respond soon, NS2. Well, NS2, that's definitely an interesting question. I really can't give you that information, however, since it's private. I would love to try some of your apple pie, though. I'm sure it's delicious. Well, that about wraps up my Q&A. I hope you all enjoyed it, and yeah, this whole thing was pretty much butt.